Today on In the Wood Yard, we've got a firewood delivery and then we got some stacking to do. Here we go! So the first thing I'm going to do is load up this oak that's sitting right here. That is what's left over of some of the oak that I had that's the oldest. That's going to go in first, and then I'm also going to put some cherry in because the person that's getting this wants cherry and oak. They like to kind of mix it up. And this is going to be the third time this summer that I've delivered wood to them. They've been going through about a face cord or third of a cord about every 3 weeks or so. So that's a good thing. So I like it when people reorder. And we're going to load it up into the truck, and then we're going to go over the cherry, and we're going to load it up, and we're going to go deliver it right now. So here comes the wood flying at you. There it is, another beautiful art project that I have created. So this guy burns wood exclusively in his backyard fire pit. They don't burn anything in the wintertime at all. It's just for sitting and drinking beer, basically. So I like those kind of guys. That's nice because he just wants good wood that's going to burn. He's tried pine before, and he said that was nice, but he said it did pop and snap a lot, and they got a little dog, and he said the dog freaks out, and he wanted to try something better. I said, well, I've got, you know, oak, I've got hickory, I've got cherry, I've got ash, I've got maple. And he says, well, what do you recommend? I said, well, are you going to be cooking with it? He said, yeah. He says they do some cooking on it and maybe some smoking. So I said, well, cherry is really nice. And I said, I've got hickory, but it's not real dry yet, so you could try it, but I wouldn't tell you just hickory by itself. I'd recommend mixing it with oak. He said, well, what if we try cherry and oak? He said, does that sound like something that'll work? I said, absolutely. I said, cherry and oak go really good together. So that's what this is, and we're going to go deliver it. And then when we get back, I'm going to show you my next project when we get back. It's the end of the day, by the way, today. It rained pretty much, I'd say a good 4 or 5 hours today, starting kind of at daybreak till this afternoon, and then it was misting out real heavy until, I don't know, like 2 o'clock. And then when it got done misting out, my lawn had to get mowed because it needed it a couple days ago, and I'm going to be gone the next couple days. So I mowed the lawn, got that all done, and when I was looking at this eyesore, makes my eyes sore. So I've got all this. This is 2 loads that were processed wood with the processor. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to stack some of it right over there. We're going to stack some of it right here. So when I get back, I'm going to try to get a bunch of this done. I doubt that I can get it done with how much time I'm going to have because it's a very overcast day today. It's already 5:30, 5:45, something like that. So I'll have an hour, hour and a half, something like that. And I'm going to answer a question that comes up all the time on the channel that you guys always ask me about. Whenever you see this in the photographs or the videos that I do, everybody wants to know about this guy right here. This is my old truck that I have, and it's actually 2 different trucks. The box was from one truck, one of the fenders was from that other truck, and then the truck itself. Now I've had this for over 20 years now. It's a 1940 Chevrolet, as you can see. And I bought it strictly as a photography prop because my main business I have a photography studio, and I do a lot of high school senior portraits and families and things like that. So I thought this was kind of neat. I bought it 20 years ago. I paid $1,200 for it. I've already been offered $2,000. Another guy told me, he said it's probably worth $2,500, $3,000. I don't know. But there it is. It's not great shape. There is no engine inside. It's just empty in there. I don't know if you can see in there, there's no engine and there's no transmission. But it's just kind of, I bought it like I say, as a prop, and I use it a lot for photography. We do things, the kids sitting up on top, sitting in the backs, in the front, stuff like that. But my whole photography area, I'm kind of going to walk through it right now and just show you, because I get asked all the time. I've got 4 acres altogether, and the wood yard, which is out over there, only takes up about 1 acre. The rest of it is for photography. So I've got areas where I've got it all trimmed out. I've got a real nice little babbling brook or creek or crick, whatever you want to call it. It rained yesterday and this morning, so there's some water flowing really nicely here, as you can see. Yes, there's fish in here, but there is no fishable fish. I mean, it's just minnows and little bitty bluegills and stuff like that, because it does dry up occasionally. If we get a dry spell where there's no rain for, 2-3 weeks, it ends up being just a trickle. I'm going to walk kind of to the other spot so you can see that, because this is stuff that comes up all the time. People ask me, why do I have all this? I mainly bought this property for photography, and because I had the creek when I bought it here, so this is the area we use for photography all the time. It's really pretty. So we have people, standing in the water, sitting on the rocks. We do family groups right in here, and then we use areas over here, as you can see, going through the woods. I kind of just mow through here and keep this open, so we use this area quite a bit for photography. We've got little areas like this that we use, and then going down here we use this trail going down that way. That goes down to the back corner of my property. We've got props like this outside that we use, chairs, benches, things like that. We've got wildflowers growing right now all through here, which is really nice, real pretty. We use this a lot for the high school senior girls and families and things like that. We've got a lot of wildflowers, and it photographs really nice. These are chairs that are covered that we use out here, because they actually have fabric, there's cushions on there, so we keep them covered so they stay dry. But even this big old stump I use for photography, the big old spools, and then I've got this rock fence right here that I put up. We use that for people to lean against or sit against, different directions. This rock wall that I have right here, I put this in specifically for photography. This was a farm when I bought it, and this property, when I actually bought it, was a cornfield. All these trees that you see around here, I planted every single one of them when we moved here 20 years ago. This is part of a berm that I had put in, and these rocks were actually along the edge of the field, the farm field. And I had the guy that was doing the earthwork here, I said, hey, those piles of rocks that were picked rocks from the field that the farmers picked and threw in piles, can you push those into a pile over here? So then me and my son stacked all those. We took a few days and got them all stacked. So that's just stacked rock is all it is. The big one's on the bottom. It's pretty wide too, so I mean, it's a pretty substantial. We use that for photography quite a bit. And then coming into this area, we use a lot of the open fields with the chairs and things like that for photography. And all this whole line of spruce trees here, I planted all those. This is balsam right here, I planted all those. These are birch trees, river birch or yellow birch, and then there's some white birch there. I've got a fence here which we do a lot of sports photography with, and these trees here are a lot of maple trees, and they turn really beautiful colors in the fall, so we planted those specifically for photography background. And then coming up in this area here, kind of working our way towards the front. Again, just kind of natural open fields. There's a lot of thistles right in here, but there's also a lot of coneflowers and black-eyed or brown-eyed Susans, whatever you call them. We got an old table in here, and these are all wildflowers in here, but these aren't blooming yet. This is stuff that's coming up late, but this will be a lot of wildflowers in here and stuff like this, where you can see where the bees are working, the bee balm. Old chairs like that. And then this is where I go into my cam room in the back. I have 2 rooms that are 30 by 40 feet, and then I have backgrounds all around, kind of like you see these old railroad ties here. We use this for photography, and this is like a set, and then another set, and then another set. We let all the ivy grow up on here. This is some old pallets I put together and stuff like that. And then there's that area here. There's a whole bunch of tin in here, but the ivy kind of took it all over, that we use for photography. And then this area here is all sunflowers, and I have it all protected because the deer get in there and they eat it right off. They eat everything. So I had to kind of fence it in and keep them out. And one of my windy days, the pallets blew over on this one side over here, and the deer got in and they ate about a quarter of it one night. So several years I've had to replant. So there you go. That's my outdoor photography area I just showed you, and now we're gonna go and deliver some wood. The woodman hath returned to the wood yard. I am back, and the wood awaits me. So we're gonna do some stacking here. There's no way I'm gonna get it done. I only got about an hour of daylight left. We sat and talked for 15 minutes after we got done alone in the wood there, so. Which I like doing. I like talking with people because otherwise I'm out here by myself most of the time. I don't get to talk to many people besides you guys, which is nice that you're here, but you don't talk back a lot until the next day or whenever, when I hear the comments and they tell me what I'm doing wrong. So here we go, stacking time. Well, I got some of it done. I ate into the pile from back here up to there, so a lot of debris in here. I've been throwing the kindling out here in a pile. I've been throwing the ones that need to be resplit out here. I got this little corner here done and I filled the rest of that in. I got this little corner done here, but there's still lots more to go yet here. I'd like to keep going, but it's starting to get dark out and I gotta go home, so that's it for today. You know what to do. Come back tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. If you can't wait that long, go to my channel. There's over 750 videos. Probably more like almost 800 now. Getting close. Go there, watch some videos. Good night, everyone.